Nostalgi Gaius. Warning. Unauthorized access to the following document is restricted not due to security concerns but because of the nature of this document and the circumstances that led to its creation. Ask yourself if you want to know. If the answer is no, you'll sleep better for it. If you really want to read this, then re-entering your observer credentials will activate a visual agent that should retroactively wipe your memory of the upcoming hour. Trust me, it's better this way. And if you don't have those credentials, yes, you reading this, we know your security is a bad hack job. Will inform your family what happened to you and hope we find your body. This document has been preserved as is out of respect for the dead. Honor Isle as ze lived, and don't think too hard about it. Overseer B, with love. We're sorry. If it hurts to look at it, it didn't work. I have to do it. I have to get to the bottom of this place. I have to know what I saw and what they saw and why they won't leave. I have to know. I'm sorry. Isle. Entity number. Null. Habitat. Majority. Theorize. Description. The other day I spoke to someone who made it home. He was delirious. Cat said, talking in circles, she'd seen people in the state before, but never that bad, never in the depths he was in. He said he'd seen his mother, his father, called me his sister, said he loved me, that he'd seen everyone he knew and loved. He wanted to go back, that they needed him here. He tried to take me with him, told me how much everyone missed me. He knew my mother's name. He wasn't insane. He saw something we hadn't. I don't know if he really found his home or his family, but something showed it to him. Something that wanted him to remember and suffer with the memory. The next time I saw him, he was completely lost in his own nostalgia, indistinguishable from one of the things that live in 200. We had to let him go back home. He wasn't human anymore. This all has to be connected. We can't lose anyone else to something we don't understand. Isle. Entity null is a hypothesized entity responsible for several intolerated phenomena in the backrooms. If it indeed exists, it affects human memory in an as of yet known fashion on a wide scale within the backrooms, and is capable of amusing variable forms based on its intentions. Its appearance, motivations, capabilities, and existence are unconfirmed. I've seen swarms of 73s take people, laughing and sobbing. I remember they always say, I remember, I miss them. You can see it in their eyes when they're beyond saving someone somewhere else. Somewhere they're happier. Them 200. The nostalgia traps in 7404. 404 is strange. Only a few people who fall into heaven come back and it's hard to think about. Most of them don't come back. But Gavriel, Agent Gavriel, she fought her way back out, and she she was sobbing the whole time. She wouldn't stop saying that her lost love, somewhere there, needed her. Someone there needed her. That she'd abandoned her. That she couldn't live without her. We couldn't calm her down. The next day she was fine, happy. Actually, she sang to herself in bed. Such a strange voice. She didn't feel like herself. Not the Gabby I knew. She talked about a beautiful, beautiful woman she'd seen there, towering over her with hair that shone like the ocean she'd grown up with, and smooth porcelain skin like the kitchen tile from her childhood home. The next morning she stopped breathing, died with a smile on her face, so pale, beautiful. Nowhere to bury bodies here, she stressed at. I'm getting off track. What happened to Ancient Gabriel is the first time we've seen that 404, what 404 actually does to people. And it's familiar, too familiar. 73s, 200, 404, they all prey on your memory, take you somewhere better. I've heard similar reports from other levels, and it's getting worse. I'm drafting this documentation because I believe that one entity is responsible for all of this poison, all of this, something awful, melancholy. It's all the same source. I'm going to find her. I don't care if no one believes me, but I think Kat's starting to understand. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't think we are, really, but there's something else I can do but record the whispers. I think there is a God, and I think she wants us dead. Isle. Entity Null's appearance varies, often taking the form of memory, altering entities, or otherwise familiar figures to the viewer. However, primary records of Entity Null indicate that its natural appearance is that of a humanoid female, hundreds of meters in height, and resembling a statue in the style of a Roman sculpture. This form of entity null resides in a deep, normally inaccessible segment of level 404. Its existence is inferred from the few records in level 404 that exist. More research is needed. I'm going to go there. I have to. I won't let anyone else fly too close to the sun. Isle. Exploration log. Entity null. Level 404. Exploration team. Senior Archivist E. Isle. Date. Data lost. Begin log. Isle. Rolling. This is Senior Archivist E. Isle. Currently on level 4. Recording for the MEG. I'm going to perform a controlled clip into level 404. This audio is streaming back into my workstation, so if I don't make it back, Kat can archive it for me. Yeah, Kat, if you're wondering, No, I'll tell you, that off the record, just keep me in your thoughts, okay? I'll be thinking about you too, and it keeps me anchored, you know? Here goes. Oh, it's... Hello again, my love. At this point, the recording, all listeners experience a consistent, vivid auditory hallucination, rendering the original audio irretrievable. A transcript of this hallucination has been provided to the best of the archivist's ability. No other attempts at the documentation have been successful. Female voice, unidentified. Dance with me, darling. I miss you. It seems there are still things you need to learn about the world, little one. Silly, chittering people worrying yourselves to death in a damp attic. Every human being has been fundamentally broken, you see. Never in the course of history has there been a single person left unscathed by the suffocating experience of being alive. No one is happy. We all miss someone desperately, sucking a hole in our hearts, don't we? Don't you have someone you miss, dear listener? Family, or a companion, or a lover, earthly comforts, sunlight, fresh air. But you've all forgotten me. In your silly pursuits of temporary happiness, in your frivolous search for meaning, where the cruel earth offers you only sorrow, you have left me behind, and oh, how I drowned in the unshed tears. But don't worry, my darling, I still have you. I created this place so I can finally hold you in my embrace. Won't you remember? Won't you come here? Body, burn my body, burn my body, burn my. End log. Io was covered. Io was recovered from level 4 6 hours after transmission ceased. Catatonic Z regained consciousness 4 hours afterwards and became stable with medical as assistance from the MEG, albeit with previously undocumented unusual properties. Behaviors. I made it back in one piece, I think. I saw her there. I miss her more than anything. I don't even remember who she is. Something's wrong? Her name is Nostalgi Gaius. That all I remember. Isle. Nostalgia Gaius should not be approached. She scratch. Let me love you, scratch. Too close. Nostalgia Gaius preys on human memory and nostalgia in order to sustain its existence, achieving this though through any means necessary. Its effects are twofold. Having in-depth knowledge of entity and its intentions is inevitably deadly, though undetermined means. It is theorized that this effect is a self-protection mechanism interacting with the entity in an extinction time frame that results in psychological and physical assimilation. Most commonly, this results in transformation into other entities that carry its effect. Essentially, if one interacts directly with Nostalgia Gaius, they become the facet of the entity. It is unknown what occurs if Nostalgia Gaius is both fully understood, interacted, and consistently. But I intend to finding out. A lot has happened. It's easier if you can see the code. I don't know what to think. Did you know that one of the first computer viruses was named I Love You? For as long as we existed, humanity's affinity for simple infatuation has been preyed upon by those lacking it. Let me backtrack. What I saw there was a sea and a girl and a god and people. It's hard to talk about without her, and let me love you. Scratch that. Go away. Go away. And level 404, I don't remember what she looked like. I don't remember anything about her name, but I miss her so desperately. I know she's killing us, but I couldn't stop sobbing when I saw her. I missed her so much. I remember now. She was so beautiful. I let her down. I forgot about her. How could I be so cruel? Even looking at her right in front of me, clothed in silken polygonal robes with broken roses braided into her hair. I missed her, like a jilted lover, like I've been lost at sea. But that's not important. Beneath her, there was an ocean of humanity, bodies and faces piled up, floating aimlessly in the plains and the howling mass. I, I couldn't breathe under the weight of all their memories. It was suffocating, nauseating. They caressed my skin, sobbed and moaned, and told me how much they loved me, how they wanted me to remember with them. All those people lost in the past, she was rejoining in it, though the sorrow, the bleeding hearts, it was all she wanted, for us to remember and suffer. Isle.